Well, hello and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. What a great beginning of a great year. Today is January 9th, 2019, and you're here for our Team Prosperity team meeting. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your time, as well as your valuable time for the people taking their time to listen to the recording. So I'm really excited about, sharing some information today, and I can't wait to look at the presentation that Mike has put together. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. Let me pull up my short presentation, and we'll go ahead and get started. So again, January 9th, what an exciting time. The year is just really taking off to a great start. Hopefully you're in our Team Prosperity Facebook group and you're seeing all the activity, and it's going to be a great year. So I wanted to talk about a few things that have come up and that have been important to me. The first thing that, I'm really striving towards, and I think will be a great use of your time, is getting organized so you can really have the best activity that you can every single day. And the way that I get organized is by, I completed reading the 12-week year a few times now, put together a 12-week plan, which consists of, an overall plan and then breaking that down over the weeks. And then the WAM group, which is the weekly activity or the weekly accountability meeting that we're going to start having. My team is going to meet on Saturdays, and I'm going to send that out, to everybody on my team. But sometime this week, if you're in a WAM group, you're going to get, information about when that first meeting is going to start. And then the daily activity calendar that you have, right here that you're seeing on the slide that Mike is so gracious to keep up with and post for all of us, really helps me get organized about what activity I should be doing every single day. If I have a blank spot that I know, okay, I need to focus on this. The other thing that I'm doing, you can see a little screenshot of the calendar that I have for today, is I'm starting to block out time blocks to do things like my CRM calls. I've blocked out 2 hours. If I have to, squeeze an appointment in there, I'm going to take that entire block and move it down to like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, wherever I can have 2 hours uninterrupted to make phone calls. Because, one thing is making a plan. Another thing is executing the plan and having daily activity towards that. So this is like my little guide of getting organized for 2019. And I've got my daily activity sheet, printed out. I've got, my my spreadsheet with all of my goals and my daily activity that I should be having. And I keep an eye on those all day long and, try to get everything completed in each category. So that's really helping me. The other thing that's come up a lot this week is that, WMG has upgraded their platform, and they've also upgraded their E&O transactions. So if you were set up for automatic errors and omissions insurance, you're no longer set up. So you need to go in there and set it. A few screenshots. This is how you get in there, my WFG login. You click on the top where it says I want to. It's like a little arrow right over here, you could see. And then you would click on pay for errors and omissions insurance. And then you would press the little plus next to the access pass. And then you would authorize and add it to the cart. And then you would just go through the prompts of checking out. If you need my help or your upline's help, it's real easy to get it done. So just let us know. We'd be happy to assist you with that. And then lastly, the end of this month is the WealthWave Convention. So I hope to see everybody, as I can make it there. It's a great time to get together face-to-face, even though we're virtual. It's fun to get together a few times a year. And if you are going, go ahead and try to get your registration tickets before Friday because prices go up. Their fee for the convention is $100, but on Friday it goes up to $150. So if you're going to do it, this is a good time to go ahead and get registered. And that website is wealthwaveconvention.com. So if anybody needs that, just let me know. I can shoot over the info. If you go to the website, it's going to, break down all the days, the events, all the things that they're doing, as well as it's got like the information about the hotel and for that as well. So let me go ahead and grab Mike. I'm really, really excited to see his presentation. Always much better than mine. So let me go ahead and grab him. Give me just 1 second. Thanks so much.
All right, you guys, 2019 is kicking off. It's starting to be a great month. It's going to be a great quarter. It's going to be a great year. And it's going to be a great, really, run for the next 24 to 36 months. So whether you've been around for a while, whether you're brand new, this is a huge time for all of us to really build a business that has a lot of potential for both the business partner side as well as the client side. And we need to make sure that we are addressing both sides of the business and going out there and reaching people with our message. So let me go through some things today. And, what I try to do for you guys with these Wednesday meetings is we basically go from, a few weeks at a time. And what we try to do is go over some, centrally themed information for that time and then move on to something else. So for a number of weeks, we did social media. At the end of the year, beginning of the year, we concentrated on accountability, activity, mindset, those typical things that, we want to look at from time to time, reevaluate, make sure that we are on the right path. Within our company, within our team, as we see this growth come in, there is absolutely no downside to competition from within. So whether it's inside your team, your organization, or the company, look at what other people are doing, be happy for their success, but also realize that it's an open platform. Everybody has the same opportunity. Use other people's successes to drive you and your activity and your organization towards this build out to be better and better and better at what you do. Remember, the basketball tournament started Monday, so a couple of days ago, and we made this so that anybody, no matter if they've been here for a while or one day, can compete. It's all about direct activity. New business partner hires, 2 points. Accepting a standard track exchange for phase 1, 1 point, fast track exchange, 3 points. So anybody can compete with this competition. It's fun. It's a way to break up the monotony of building the business. $100 gift card goes to the winner. And we're going to end this right about the time that the Final Four ends, I think around April the 7th. So it'll be running for the next number of weeks. So it's a good idea or a good opportunity to go back to what we started with, a little competition from within, helps drive everybody to better and better results. Remember, we talked last week about framing the conversation. And when you get good at framing the conversation, understanding that whether it's a business partner you're talking to potentially or a client, everybody's got problems. We're a solutions-based company. And when you understand how to frame a conversation to offer solutions to people's problems, those conversations get a lot easier. And those conversations get a lot more abundant, and those lead down into product sales side, product or potential partner interviews. So there's a lot of things that come from being able to frame a conversation from the very beginning. This brings me to our next point, the American Dream Sticker Shock. I've got the e-book or the PDF, whatever you want to call it. I read through it. I had never really seen it before. It's great, and it really hits home on a lot of the issues that... Hold on 1 second, you guys.
Muted.
Okay, so I just had to mute everybody out again. So the American Dream Sticker Shock, if you guys haven't seen that, let me know. I'll send it over to you. It really hits home on a lot of the things that our clients are facing in terms of the roadblocks, obstacles, hurdles, to get them both in a position where they're taken care of during the present, the future, no matter what might happen. And this is really where we come in. We are a digital entrepreneur. We're a 21st century entrepreneur. Our industry is very, very, very large. And so there's a lot of money to go around. It's a $1 trillion industry, $1 billion platform, a lot of market share on the move. And when you look at what we do, middle class is critically underserved. It's a great opportunity for us to go out and serve that marketplace and crush the industry on volume that we do. Most people desire to be more financially fit, whether it's a client or a business partner. It's what people are looking for. And most people desire to have greater career engagement. You always hear about people, I hate my job, they don't want to go. The spike in the heart attacks as far as the stats on a Monday morning, it all lines up to say that people don't get a lot of satisfaction out of what they're doing professionally. We've got a great opportunity here to plug into a business model, be surrounded by seasoned entrepreneurs, and really build something that, yes, has a financial benefit to it, but you actually like showing up for. I like working with you guys. I like working with entrepreneurs. I like everything about this business. It makes it a lot easier to go through the day-to-day build-out You can call it the grind, whatever you want to, of making the contacts, doing the activity, following up, all those day-to-day activities. Also, when we're talking about a solutions-based company, what the problems people are facing is that leverage. When you are essentially trading your time for money in this economy, you're going to get run over because of inflation, because of a lot of other factors. If you look at the real growth of income over the last quarter century, it's flat to even negative. So when you talk about how to get ahead in this economy, about creating leverage, about being a business owner, creating passive income, it's one of our main messages for potential partners is we've got something that can unlock you from your current standard of living, give you what you're looking for if you're qualified, if you see our vision, and if you're willing to work for it. That's where hiring comes in. If you look at a lot of the great companies, one of the most important things they do is they hire and develop people. That's what we're all about. We're bringing in people. Once again, if you look at us as a digital factory, we bring in raw material, which is talent, people that we think are going to fit into a profile of who can be successful. And then from the infrastructure, the model, the system, the tools, the support that we give them, on the backside, we create senior vice presidents, leaders, independent agency owners, 6- and 7-figure earners. So developing talent, bringing in the right people, the major part of what we do for the business partner build out. So it really comes down to a couple of things that you need to understand. What does my audience need to hear from me? Going back to one of the first slides, what's the problem people are facing and what's the solution that you can offer? When you're able to do that, you're able to very clearly and concisely ask for what you want. You get good at asking for what you want. Why are you having people watch product videos? Why are you having people watch partner videos for the potential business opportunity? Ask for what you want, learn how to frame it, and then from that point, learn how to attract and hire top talent. Remember, clients are great. Clients are going to get you sales, and that could lead to more product sales down the road as the life cycle changes. But it's a defined endpoint. When you bring in a business partner, they can potentially create multiple legs of distribution across this country. So yes, we have two sides of the fence, but what's going to get you to the point of a cash flow asset, passive income that continues to grow is from the build out of the organization, community, and the company. So you've got to hire the right people. You can make yourself very tired. You can make your managers very tired. And you can make your organization very tired hiring the wrong people. You don't get paid to bring people into this company. So you want to make sure that the people that you do bring in, go through the filters, go through the ABC interview, and are making a right fit and have the right vision. We're looking for entrepreneurs, whether they're inside this industry or outside the industry, with the same vision that we have. Disruption, big industry, market share on the move. How do I capitalize? That's what I'm looking for. People don't understand what we're doing, not the right fit. If people have a lack of motivation when they understand the opportunity here, that's a red flag. A real entrepreneur seeks out opportunity, and when they see an opportunity to disrupt this size industry, it should be exciting to them. If it's not, it's going to be a red flag. And then also, you've got the two mindsets. If you're talking to somebody and they've got that scarcity mindset where everything that's needed for the future survival and the progress is getting more scarce, running out, there's nothing positive, and everything's getting, bigger and better, that's not their view. The abundance mindset, everything important is getting bigger and better as a result of capabilities that make things faster, easier, and cheaper. This is more along the lines of the business partner side, but you have to understand people's mindset. If they have a locked-in mindset of scarcity, they're not going to be able to see a big picture. They don't understand scaling. They don't understand exponential reach. They're locked into this little mindset where they're going to go in the corner and basically hide from the world. The abundance mindset is what you're looking for, people that see opportunity. In my opinion, this is the greatest time ever to be an entrepreneur. When people look back at this time in history, it'll be a special time. So you want to make sure that you're seeking out those people who have that same mindset as us. And also, what is the mindset for fixed versus growth? And I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but the skills, intelligence, main concerns, the efforts, the challenges, the feedback, the mistakes, how does somebody view those? Is it with a growth mindset or is it with a fixed mindset? And once again, abundance mindset with a growth mindset, that's hitting on the cylinders that we're looking for. for potential partners. You got a fixed mindset, can't break out of that. It's going to be a leading indicator that they're not going to find the success that they're looking for or that you're hoping they get in this business. What do people really want? We talk about this over and over and over again. Once again, framing the conversation, offering a solution to people's problems. What do they want? Well, they want lifestyle freedom. Of course, people want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and that leads into financial freedom. People want to break out of the shackles, break out of the standard of living. They want to create not something just for themselves, but when you really talk to people, they want to create something for their family. They want to create a legacy. They want to create something that shows themselves and their family, I set you guys up. This is what I worked on. I worked hard. This is what we all have to benefit from it now. And that leads into time freedom. That's our three-pronged mission statement: lifestyle freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. That's what people want. That's what we can offer them. If you frame the conversation, if you offer the solution in the correct way, it's going to lead to more and more videos being watched, and that leads to more and more conversations that can filter down to potential business partners, potential clients, referrals, a lot of different ways that can go. And also, if you look at and you talk to people about how they view income, if somebody is a W-2 mindset, it's okay. We might be able to help them as a client, but they are not going to make a good partner for you, because when you understand leveraged income, you understand how to create organizations, growth that feeds on top of itself, you will crush anybody, the hardest worker out there, because you can see this, working 40 hours a week for 52 weeks a year, every week of the year, it's 2,080 hours a year over 45 years, over an entire lifetime of working, 93,600 hours. Now, when you build an organization, build a team, build a community that starts to grow and compound on top of itself, you've got 155 people working very part-time at 10 hours a week. That's 1,550 hours per week, over 52 hours. That's 80,600 hours in 1 year. So once again, leveraged income is what we look at. We want to look at scaling an organization. We want to look at setting ourselves up for a cash flow asset that pays a lot of passive income. Leveraged income is how you get ahead. People that understand that will understand this business model. And really, it's just about reverse engineering. If you understand what people want and understand what it's going to take to get them there, it's just all about breaking down a few key factors. Where does someone want to be? Most people are not where they want to be right now. So when you identify that, where do they want to be? What are their goals? What are their dreams? And then secondarily, how can they get to where they want to be? A lot of people have goals, have a vision, have dreams. They have no idea how to put into place a plan that will actually get them there. Are they currently on an avenue or path to get there? Once again, those questions. Do you see yourself retiring at the job you have now? That gets laughter most of the time. People understand that, this is not the same economy that it was 50, 75 years ago. What's it going to take to get there, and how should I proceed? It goes back to that recruiting triangle that we built that shows the mastery of how you recruit, how you headhunt. It's all about building rapport, establishing trust and credibility that leads people to opening up to you, to give you the problems, give you their goals. That allows you to come in with a solution that leads to them taking action. You master that, you're going to be able to really have some concrete, in-depth conversations with people that really open things up, bring in the right people. And if you are talking to a producer and you cannot crack that producer mentality, not a big deal. We do bring producers in on this platform. Like we talk about, they extract the least amount of value. They can open up territories, sell more client services, but at the end of the day, when you're juggling personal sales, it still falls on you. So if you look out 5 to 7 years from now, as a producer, do I want to be selling financial services products? Well, maybe so. Maybe you enjoy doing that, and that's fine. The other backup question is, do you want to have to be in a position where you're out there selling financial services, insurance, retirement planning, whatever it might be? This is an exit strategy. This is a business that can be built that will allow you to have an exit strategy, walk away from not a book of business that gradually deteriorates with residual income, but actually free-flowing cash flow asset, passive income growing with coast-to-coast activity. And like we just talked about a few minutes ago, I don't believe there's a better time in history to be a marketer, networker, entrepreneur. The tools, the platforms, all of these things out there, it's wide open. You can go out and really from nothing create giant organizations, giant businesses that take down the traditional giants. There's no better industry to disrupt than this one, where you've got old, stale, stagnant business models, companies reluctant to change. We come in there and we force the issue, and that drives market share over to the digital side, and that's a tidal wave of money ready to come. You just have to make sure that you're organized, you're active, and you get better and better and better at what you do. Success in this business is going to come from leverage. We talked about that from the income slide, but it also comes from learning how to use the leadership that you have in place, the clients that are out there that need help in the self-directed environment, the partners and professionals that we use, the products and providers that we have access to, that huge platform where we can get somebody basically anything they need, want, or desire from the life side, the technology and social media, what we can do with those platforms, and all the tools that we have as a company, as a team, and the individual ones that you guys use. Leverage is where it's at. When you understand leverage on the income side and all of these other things right here, it puts you in a great place to build something that's going to get you, your family, your partners, everybody to where they want to go. 12-week year. We started this also on Monday. If you have signed up for the 12-week year and you've been assigned to a WHAM group, you should have already received that information. If you have not, you need to contact us if you still want to be a part. Either we neglected to see you sign up or you haven't signed up. The 12-week year is just about getting the most out of your day, not saying, oh, by the end of this year, I want this to happen. What am I going to do today? And that's when you extract more value out of the day, you're going to be a better producer, better builder, better manager, whatever it might be, than most all the other population. 12-week year, it starts with having that vision. Remember, we talked about this. You have to have a clear vision that you not only see, but that you feel. What do you want to get done? And there's two different parts of the vision. You have an aspirational vision. How do I want my life to look? How do I want to live my life? And then you've got a 3-year vision. Over the next 3 years, what are some things that I want to see happen? And then from that vision, you're going to be able to create the goals. And the goals for the 12-week year are over the next 12 weeks, what do I want to see happen? Whether it's personal, business, a little bit of both. Usually 2 to 3 goals is good. Too many goals starts to get a little bit overwhelmed. Not enough goals, underwhelmed. So usually 2 to 3 goals is enough. Then from those goals, with this digital strategy that we have, with this business model, you're going to combine that with the tactics. Remember, the tactics are what you're going to do on a weekly basis that you think gives you the best opportunity to drive yourself to get to these end goals. And then finally, those tactics lead down to the day-to-day activity. What do I need to do today? It's going to fuel my tactics for the week. That's hopefully going to drive the execution and reach my goals at the end of this 12-week period. At the end of this today, guys, I'll share with you my 12-week tactics just real quick so you can get an idea of what I look to do over the next 12 weeks. But this is something that is a time management system. You combine it with a solid business system that we have. It's really off to the races. You don't need the capital. You don't need infrastructure as you build out. Open floor plan to get as big as you possibly can. If you have not downloaded the 12-week worksheets, there is a link posted in the Facebook group, also sent out via email. The link is a view only. So the only thing you're going to be able to do is pull that up. And that's just going to be a view-only copy. Only thing you have to do is go over to File, select that, select Make a Copy, and then you'll have your own copy where now you can name it whatever you want. You can edit it. You can write in there to use it. If you're in a WHAM group, you should have one of these filled out, or if you have not, make sure you get that filled out as soon as possible. If you're not participating, still not a bad idea to download these and take a look, start to get your thought process organized around what you want to do, and then maybe in the upcoming 12-week year, you can join, when the next one comes around. Changing your habits. That's what really is everything that we do. The activity sheets, the 12-week year, it's about changing habits, and you can't change bad habits until you identify them. When you identify and correct habits, not resolutions, but actually changing habits, changing the way that you do things, and you replace unhealthy or bad habits with positive or good habits, that's what gives you the change that's going to last. Not some crash diet where you lose a lot of weight and bring it back on, but actually changing the way that you look at food, diet, exercise. Same thing on the business side. If you're not doing something well and you never confront yourself about, how you need to change, all of a sudden the weeks pile up, the months pile up, they turn into years. You're at the exact same place that you were. The activity sheet. This goes a lot with the 12-week year. A lot of the same things that we keep track of on the daily log sheet, we also, it's the same type of stuff for the 12-week year. So it's all reinforcing what am I doing today that's going to give me the best opportunity to drive the growth, whether it's partner, business or partner, client, marketing, revenue, whatever it might be. It starts with what am I going to do? Am I going to pick up the phone today? Am I going to send emails? Am I going to work my CRM? That in the foxhole of day-to-day activity leads you to what you're going to want to see, which is personal growth, organizational growth, and then eventually nationwide distribution growth. You're the CEO of your own company. In the beginning, it's basically you. Now, after a while, after a period of time, you've got people coming in, they're filling in roles, they're having their own activity. But in the beginning, you've got to set the pace for yourself. And then as people come in, you've got to be able to share, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, this is what I recommend. If you don't have anything to pass on to the people who come in your organization, you're really short-sighted in terms of what you're going to be able to do and what your organization is going to be able to do. People generally are uninspired. So, if it's a part-time opportunity that you're coming in for, if you've got a full-time job, whether it's working a few hours at night, whether it's putting in some weekend hour work, commitment's not about a time. Commitment's about the activity. So, you're not tired, you're uninspired. If you've got goals, that's what the vision and the motivation is. It's going to drive the execution on the back end. And once again, you can't have $1 million dream. You can't have all the stuff that you want for you and your family with a minimum wage work ethic. So the activity sheets are due by 9 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. Those people that contribute offer feedback on a weekly basis, monthly recaps, try to go over and beyond from my side. If you're trying to do this from your side, I'm going to make myself very available for you on this side. And keep dreaming, keep working. Remember, that vision is very important to drive the execution on the back end. It's going to be some things that provide discomfort. They're going to be uncomfortable in the beginning. That skill set of having discomfort in your life is a huge advantage. If you're always comfortable in everything that you do, you're really not growing. You can't skip the steps to success. You've got to go through the process, and it is a process, and you're going to have to trust that process, hold the vision, but you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone, start talking with people, start opening up conversations, because the more that you do, easier it becomes. Just like going to the gym. If you haven't been to the gym for a while and you get on the treadmill and put it on 10 miles, it's going to be very hard for you to get there. You're going to have to build up to that. Same thing here. When you're brand new versus the kind of conversations you're going to have 6 or 9 months down the road, totally different. So all you're looking to do in the beginning, just have the activity. Get the rocks out of your mouth, feel more comfortable with the activity, with what you need to do, and then things start to take shape. And remember, you don't have to do it all. You have to do a very limited role. We'll help you with everything else. You shadow, you watch, you grow till you feel comfortable. So little progress each day. Be 1% better than you were yesterday. If you can compound that, just like we talked to the clients about compounding their money, what that looks like, it's going to really add up over time. So review your goals. Why are you doing this? Once again, focus on achieving those. And it just starts with knowing what you want, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, why you're going to do it. Those things revolve on a day-to-day basis to get you through those days, instead of just drifting that are turning to weeks and months. Now those weeks and months are turning into growth, and that's the big difference. You got what it takes, and you're going to be good at anything that you practice, including the BS that you give yourself, or that you give your marketplace that you're going out and influencing, or that you give your partners. If you make promises to yourself, if you keep those promises, it grows self-confidence. That allows you to be a better person as an individual and a better manager and leader to the organization that you're trying to build. Remember, growth comes from really contacts and conversations. When the outside marketplace is looking in at our business model, we want them to understand we're in the business of financial literacy. When you look internally at really what our business is, especially in the beginning, it's about contacting people, opening conversations, providing solutions to potential problems, framing conversations, and getting the word out that we have a great business for a potential client that needs help or a potential business partner looking at this business from one or more different angles or avenues. Tier 1, this is the front door of your business. If you had a traditional brick and mortar business and nobody's coming through your front door, business is not going to be going well. Got a lot of people coming through that door on a daily basis, business is going to be well. This is the key to your business. If you're creating 4 leads per month, you're going to value each one of those leads way too much. You're going to be, walking on a tightrope around those leads because you're afraid that that lead might not work out, might not be a client, might not be a business partner, and they might not pick up the phone. I might say something wrong to them. If I got enough leads coming in, all of a sudden the value of a lead has been diminished down to basically 0. Now it's just I'm working this lead. I don't really care about the individual outcome. I know that if I have enough leads that I create and I resolve enough leads to the process of what I do, I'm going to find what I'm looking for, partners, clients, but it all goes back to how many of those conversations am I opening, how many videos are being sent out, am I effectively following up, because the key to your business is opening conversations. And that brings me to my next point. You've got to develop a marketing strategy. If it's running on one leg, if you're only sending LinkedIn connection requests, meaning when somebody connects with you on LinkedIn, you've got an open, front-end connection message, that's fine. It's a great way to possibly open a conversation. But if that's all you're doing on LinkedIn and that's all you're doing for the business, you're going to find this is a very, very hard business to build. You have enough marketing going, enough conversations being open that's developing into enough leads, then everything takes care of itself. The follow-up, finding the right individuals, helping the right clients. But once again, if you don't have enough people coming through the front end of your business or the front door, it's going to be very difficult. Marketing is something that you have to make sure for yourself and for your organization that you learn about, that you implement, and can teach on. The brutal fact is that the number one reason people fail in sales, building, whatever it might be, is an empty pipeline. The root cause of an empty pipeline is the failure to prospect. So once again, if you're not having enough activity, you're not opening enough conversations, business becomes very hard to do. So we solve the prospecting problem in 2 major ways. Number 1, the way we prospect, the tools and the approach. Leading with information about a business opportunity, leading with products, information about educating the client, it works. And when you frame that conversation and make sure the other side understands why you're sending this video, why they need to watch the video, you're going to get more videos watched and more follow-up conversations come from that. And we champion the cause of part-timers. On the business build-out, somebody can have a full-time job, somebody can come in, and we fill the voids, whether it be time, skill sets, and help them get an agency built where in a traditional model they would have no chance because the time's not there, the resources aren't there, the help's not there. So we've got a great platform, great business model, a great system, and you got a ton of help if those part-time hours are used effectively. And once again, this is all about stepping out of your comfort zone. For 2019, you want to step outside your comfort zone. You want to wake up that sleeping giant that's within you that wants these things to happen, the vision and goals. And once you start to do that, self-confidence starts to really brew up. All of a sudden you're starting not to ask, you're starting to direct people. You're going to do this because of this reason. You're going to do this because of this reason. If you lead people, they're going to fall in line. Instead of asking, tiptoeing, maybe being a little bit not as direct and aggressive, people are going to start to control you on the conversation. So get outside your comfort zone, wake up that sleeping giant, be the aggressive party. Remember, we're not being aggressive in terms of pushing people to come in this company, pushing people to buy products on the client side, but we are pushing people to get introduced to the products, the business opportunity, whatever it might be. And remember, as you're out there, you're doing something new, doing something that hasn't been done before in this industry. When you're disrupting, when you're innovating, when you're offering something new, you'll get a lot of no's. Now, no's can come from a direct no. No's can come from people not understanding what you're talking about. No's can come from just zero feedback from any type of video information that you send out. Best opportunities are often the ones where you're a contrarian. You are not doing business like everybody else. When you step outside that herd mentality, you're able to see things develop ahead of the curve, able to stake your claim. Don't follow the crowd. When you look at every disruption up until this point over the last 20 years, the masses always say it won't work. It works. The masses adopt that model, and it becomes the norm for the masses. Up until that point, the naysayers, the non-believers, just move through those as quickly as possible. Don't let them take up too much of your time. 3 direct business partners per month. That's really what you want to look at. Everything else will take care of itself. If you're brand new in this business, that's all you really want to concentrate on. Have an activity that leads to the potential. Now, this is a building number of 3 qualified business partners coming in. Don't hire for the sake of hiring. Don't bring people in just to have a number. Bring people in that you think that you like to work with, that you don't mind talking to. If you can't stand to be around the person, they're not going to make a good business partner. And then also, do they fit into a profile that might be successful here? We've got everything that we could possibly offer them, but they got to have the right vision. They got to have the right work ethic. They got to have the right motivation. They got to have the right mindset. 3 a month leads into individual growth that you're looking for. That leads to base shop growth, will eventually lead to super base shop and distribution growth. It all starts with you. So what's your game plan? What are you going to do? Well, through what we offer, the 12-week year, activity sheets, the tools, the approaches, that's where a defined game plan each and every day, knowing what I have to do. I have to do this per every day, and then as I go through the list and checking them off, I'm seeing, either what I need to do for the rest of the day, or if it goes into that next day, I didn't get it done, why did that not get done yesterday, and how I can improve today. Also, as a manager, you've got to contact your team. We're not signing people up and throwing them out in the wilderness just to see what happens. If you get in the habit of doing that, you're not going to build anything worthwhile or long-standing. So you've got to contact your team to make sure you offer the support. Whatever they need in the beginning, they're like children. You've got to hold their hand. They're going to need a lot from you. They might be reluctant to ask you. That's why the support in the beginning is going to come from making sure that you're open line of communication, making sure that they know that you're there no matter what question, big, small. We talk about theory in the training. When it gets down to practical application, that you're there to help them out. And then also you're there to fix your team. Now, I'm not talking about fixing personality defects, self-sabotage. I'm talking about fixing things in the beginning that are problems that, if identified and corrected early on, will help your partner, help your organization, and help them build an organization. They are watching you, just like kids watch parents. What are you doing? How are you acting? What's your voice like when you're talking to people? That all is going to come around to either have people gravitate towards you like a magnet or push away from you. You need to be somebody that's approachable and that has everything that your team needs in the beginning. You're not going to have to do this forever. In the beginning, you're going to have to do a lot of it. So what's the difference between a leader and a boss? Well, in that boss kind of corporate structure mentality, we all know what those people are like. A leader is different. Coaches on goodwill, generates enthusiasm, says we over I, fixes the breakdown, shows how it's done, develops people, gives credit when due, asks questions, lets go, motivation. Corporate structure, they kind of rule with an iron fist. You're going to do this because I told you to do it because you work for us, and if you don't do it this way, you're not going to be working for us very long. So they drive the organization, the division out of fear. We inspire. We motivate. We get people dreaming. That's the big difference. And then people that you have to get rid of, whether you let them in your organization as a mistake or whether they're out there in the open marketplace, negative people, that's infectious. People that are critical all the time, no one really wants to hear that. Those people that waste your time, you can only do so much for somebody. Those people who are jealous of other people's success. Those people who always play the victim. Those people who just flat out don't care, just don't give a, whatever. Those people that are self-centered and those people who keep disappointing you. These are toxic people that you should get rid of. Open-minded people don't care to be right. They just care to be understood and to understand what's going on. there's never a right or wrong answer. Everything is about understanding. It's about teaching, mentoring, coaching them. It's all about driving down like a hammer to a nail. It's about building organizational growth, being approachable, making sure they understand why it's done this way and why it's beneficial to do that way. And as a leader or manager in this company, you're always pushing either yourself towards SVP, or if you're building a base shop as an SVP, pushing other people towards SVP. Where are they? What do they need to do now, today? And what's the outlook looking for the next weeks and months? What do I need to get done over that time? At SVP, top contract, running a base shop, ownership, distribution, bonuses, things really start to mature at that point. Up until then, we compartmentalize everything into step-by-step guidelines and stepping stones to get you to that end result. What do I need to do? How do I need to get there? Who's going to help me? And this is really where education comes in. You've got to fight ignorance. You've got to educate yourself. If you're still doing the same thing 6 months from now that you're doing now, have you really evolved as a marketer? Probably not. Has you evolved as a manager? Probably not. If you do consulting, have you evolved as a consultant? Probably not. You need to continue to educate yourself, because once again, it's not just about you. It's about building an organization, a division within this company. And when you can pass things down that work, it's off to the races for you and your partners. Retention, activation, sales, it's all going to follow. Another thing that we need to take into consideration is we always come from a point of view that the business model is incredible because of the cash flow asset, that you basically got zero fixed and variable costs. It is incredible, but you need to do two things. As you make money in this organization, you need to do one thing, which is pay yourself first. That time, energy, resources, and labor that went into this, you need to pay yourself for that. Also, you need to take a small percentage of that money that comes in and starts to parlay that into advertising efforts for you, for your organization. Once again, the immediate effect of that is a positive, and the ripple effect of that is very positive when you look at being able to teach people how to market, how to create tier one contacts, how to go out there and really create enough of a front-end funnel to find clients and business partners, so they're not just sitting around with a minimal amount per leads per month that doesn't get things moving. So you've got to advertise, you've got to build, you've got to market. The easiest way to do that is to come up with a percentage. Maybe 10% of my income from this business I'm going to put directly in my pocket, pay myself first. Maybe 3 to 5% would go to a marketing budget. As your organization grows, your income grows, so does that marketing budget. I posted in Facebook yesterday, a bunch of information about classifieds. A lot of them start off with free. They have trial periods, or they're just free. And then, of course, if you sponsor, really get more momentum behind the ad, they want to charge you. But you have, one advertisement going versus 20, it's much easier to see that person with 20 advertisements is going to have more conversations being open. And then LinkedIn. We need to understand how to use LinkedIn. It's a great marketing asset. Treat it accordingly. Go in there, work on your profile, work on opening conversations, being interesting, but you don't need to spend hours a day. I probably spend 15 to 20 minutes every day on LinkedIn getting what I need to get done. We talk about building connections, but also once the connections are built in, you've got the ability to go in there and pull up first connections, organize those by insurance agent, marketer, real estate agent, and sending those people messages. Hey, I don't know how your 2019 is looking so far. Don't know what you've got planned for this year. If you're open to expansion, if you're open to building partnerships, maybe we should have a conversation. More conversations open, remember, leads to more videos, leads to more potential outcomes for you. And how do I engage my audience? Well, this is something you're going to have to work on. What do I say to people? Once again, framing that conversation. Why should they talk to me? Why should they watch these videos? Why should they continue this conversation that leads into other points about the business, products, whatever it might be? This is a business where if you decide to go all in, which was last year's WealthWave convention motto, this year it's on fire. If you decide to go all in, there's no limits. I've ran several businesses in the past where all of a sudden I get to the point where I need $200,000, I need $250,000 to grow the business. Don't have access to that kind of capital, you're stuck. Here, you don't need anything. You've got a no-limit kind of platform where you can grow and build around these 50 states, 10 provinces in Canada. As we go international, more and more territories will open up. So your business, is going to come, the growth is going to come from the build out of the organization, the community, and the company as a whole. Routes to business growth going to come from different areas, but if you concentrate on building the business from the partner and the client side, everything else is going to take care of itself. Don't concentrate on outcomes. Don't concentrate on revenue or income in the beginning. Concentrate on activity. You're going to get big by staying simplistic. We've got a system that allows the average to become great, and it allows you to build something that's very duplicatable and you can walk away from it. It might stroke our ego to have people constantly needing us, but it's never going to give us that independence, that lifestyle, that time freedom that we're looking for. When you look at growing versus scaling, there are big differences. You need to understand that growing means you're adding resources at the same rate you're adding revenue. On the other hand, scaling is about adding revenue at an exponential rate while only adding resources at an incremental rate. So growing, you're paralleling the growth with new expenses. On the other hand, scaling is an opportunity where you to put minimal investment on the front side and it equals or equates on the back side to huge growth. So the difference between growing and scaling is important because what is the point of resistance for scalability for our organization? Not capital, it's not infrastructure. It's about finding the right people, putting them in the right places with the right training, support, tools to help them become successful. It's a great opportunity when you look out there at this landscape. You have so much growth ahead of you for scaling purposes, and you're not going to run into that point where you can't grow anymore because you've ran out of money, don't have the infrastructure, et cetera. And believe and act if it were impossible to fail. You've got an investment in this company. It's not a couple $100. Now, practically speaking, it really is. But you have to look at what is your virtual financial investment. So let's say that you value your time at $100 an hour. And let's say that you're going to work 20 hours per week in this business. And let's say you're going to work all but 2 weeks out of the year. So that's 50 weeks. So that front year, you're looking at, theoretically in your mind, you should be looking at, I've got a $100,000 investment into this company for year one. It's going to get you up off your butt from sitting on your hands and actually taking action. There's an opportunity cost here. If you're in this business and you're working this business, it's taking time away from other things that you could be doing. What's your investment? Think about it, and then put that in your mindset to drive the activity and execution. Become a lion. If you are the type of person that sends out stuff expecting the other person to react to it, it's not going to happen. Everything, information, is flying and, at a new speed these days. People are getting all types of information real time right in front of them. They're having trouble processing it all. You're expecting people just to see things, get back to you. It's not going to work. Follow-up is the main reason that I see failure in the open marketplace, no matter what industry, sales, building, also in our company, our organization. When I see people that aren't finding the success they're looking for, when I go in and I see some CRM notes that they created a lead, maybe they never followed up with it, or maybe they follow up with it a month later, it's not going to work, guys. Become the aggressive person, resolve the leads. It's going to build self-confidence, also going to build an organization. And Alana brought this up. We've got the Wealth Wave Leadership Convention the end of this month. If you guys can make it, great. Can't, I understand. If you do make it, it's going to be a great opportunity to meet some people in the company, meet some people in Wealth Wave, meet some people on your team, organization. Really sit down and have some personal contact with those people. Digital model is great. We get together a couple times a year. It's important to see your partners, look at them face to face, get to know them a little bit better on a personal level. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm not going to take all that. I'm going to go over here real quick. This is what I developed for my 12-week year. Developed it around activity so that other people could type of mimic this no matter where they are, day 1, day 10, year plus. So I wanted goal 1 to be a social media build out and lead creation. So build out social media, build out leads from that social media build out. Goal 2 was a direct partner build out, meaning what myself, Mike Amos, is going to bring to my base shop organization directly. And then finally, direct production involvement. As a consultant, as a marketer inviter, what am I doing to feed organizational growth with points? And so the social media build out and lead creation. I want to, every week, send 600 new connections through the platforms, whether it be LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it might be, trying to connect with 600 new people every week. I'm also going to try to educate myself. Remember, we talked about this. We're going to fight ignorance. We're going to educate ourselves. I want to look at 3 educational videos about social media every week. Once again, the more information that I intake and put out there for practical activity purposes and uses, the better and better I get at this. And then schedule, typical things, 14 articles, 14 memes, 3 videos, 3 ads. These are things that I want to post each and every week. And then on the daily activity, I'm just keeping up. Did I post 2 memes today? What did I do? So I know if I'm meeting my goals, if I'm lacking my goals, and then what to concentrate on for the rest of the week. Send 500 direct messages to connections. So, for example, if I wanted to average 100 of these a day, and maybe I sent 30 new connection messages on LinkedIn, well, that leaves me 70. So maybe the other 70 I'm going to go in, communicate with first connections. Maybe I'm going to go in direct message on Twitter. I'm just striking up conversations. And then I'm going to write 1 blog or LinkedIn original article every week. And I'm going to create 1 YouTube video, instructional YouTube video to add to my channel to help people in the organization, but also maybe to attract other people from that channel that might be interested in what we're doing. Goal number 2, direct partner build out. I'm trying to add 1 direct partner a week. And that comes from, in my honest assessment of what I need to do, send out 1,500 intro marketing emails each week. Introduce the lead videos to 12 new people. Now, I think I came in and undershot that a little bit. I'm already doing, on pace to, do better than that. But remember, it's all about the upfront activity. So about, 12 videos every week going out to people that have shown interest in the business model, 100 follow-up emails, make 300 calls, send 500 direct messages to the connections. That's the same one up here, kind of bleeds into this. Conduct 5 ABC calls a week for myself. People that have watched the videos, confirm they watched the videos, have interest in setting up an interview, an ABC call. Run 1 new job posting or classified ads. I'm not talking about in just 1 city. I'm talking about accessing 1 new platform, getting to know it, putting out a classified ad. Hire 1 direct business partner. Once again, 1 a week is going to get me to that 12 number at the end. Add 600 new emails to my email list. I'm always trying to compose or add new emails to the email list. So as I'm getting things from other sources and I'm sending those introduction emails out, they're not in my email list, I make sure to add those. So it continues to grow, and at the end of this, that's what, 7,200 emails that I'm going to add. That just grows and grows and grows. So now you've got a huge email list that you can pepper 3 or 4 times a year with, just different emails. And then 3 educational videos about recruiting. I want to educate myself about social media. I want to educate myself about headhunting or recruiting. And then I also want to educate myself down here, sales tactics, how to become a better consultant, how to become a better closer. And then this was my direct involvement into 56,000 points over the next 12 weeks. So that's an average direct involvement of about 4,700 points per week. That gets, direct involvement, me scheduling, me conducting 5 tier 3s, 5 tier 5s, could be business partner training, could be clients, doesn't matter. A couple phase exchanges I want to work on, direct involvement into a client sale every week. There's some lead calls that I want to make, 2 client-directed ads, and once again, 3 educational videos about sales. So I'm educating myself. I'm having activity. I'm forcing myself to do things that I normally probably wouldn't do because, A, it's right there in front of my face, and B, if I'm not doing it, it's going to tell me each and every day or each and every week, you didn't do this. This is what's causing the holdup or it's blocking me to getting to my goals. Now, what happens is if I start to meet all these goals and it's not getting me to, or meeting this activity, it's not starting to get me to my goals, I've got to reevaluate. But you should never reevaluate your activity plan until you are scoring at least 80% or more on all the ones in the category over a few-week process. Up until that time, hit the activity, score yourself. Whether you make a 20%, 40%, 80%, whatever it might be, score yourself, keep track, and force yourself to do better. So, for example, on these lead calls, if I get through the end of the week and I've made 80 of those 100, that's an 80%. So when I go to my WHAM group, I'm going to talk about what were my scores, what did I do well, what did I not do well, what am I going to do in the upcoming week, and get some feedback from my partners in the WHAM group. So guys, we've got about 4 minutes left. If you have anything that you want to share, any questions, to the open group, by all means, go ahead. If you need help on an individual basis, privately, just let us know that as well.
Wow, what a great training. I got so much out of it. And keep in mind, Mike's got, a lot of stuff that he does. So maybe your goals, have less tactics, but, just do it. Just get it done. My first 12-week year, I didn't get much out of it. The second time, I did much, much better. And this third time around, I'm really hoping for higher scores and better results. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the recording and we'll open up the floor. So thanks for being here for the recording.